Her last day. It's her last day before she goes on vacation.
Yeah, who's a happy
No
elf?
wonder she's
Yeah,
smiling from ear to
happy.
ear. Good
She's
morning,
got-
everyone. We're live too.
She's got her
Happy,
her Christmas sweater on.
happy.
And a Christmas hat to boot. How cute.
Yeah, the
are
hat
you?
is the real
Yes.
topper there.
I am. This is extra. This is a little thing,
Something she threw on there
little
Come on.
something.
to go with the ugly sweater that we're all going to be wearing by the end of
I'm
the week.
sorry that we're not all
Well, I
wearing
didn't
it
realize
together.
you were done today.
Sorry.
Sorry to see that.
I
We'll all have our sweaters.
feel out of place now.
You look cute.
Not really.
You don't feel that bad. We know.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, don't cry over that.
WJR.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Some call it middle of the week. Some have another name for it, Dana.
It's hump day.
Why, in fact, it is a hump day. Wednesday, December 16th, the 351st day of 2020. There are 15 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And Marie Osborne just finished up the news for us. We appreciate that, Marie. Thank you very much. And a good morning. Dana Clark with her Santa's cap on. This is her Friday. She's all set to be done for the holidays and wish us all well. She's got her ugly Christmas sweater on, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to call them ugly sweaters because
It's so nice.
there was a time when people wore those sweaters thinking they were beautiful. And then somewhere along the way, we started saying, gee, that's an ugly sweater. And then people started trying to outdo each other with the uglier, the better. Be that as it may, Brian Morton is in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, pushing all the right buttons, we hope. Kim is up and Adam and raring to go, as is our executive producer running the show by the clock, Ann Thomas.
Good morning, Dub. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you. I was reading a story in yesterday's Wall Street Journal that I just couldn't believe. People are going crazy for Christmas, and I think that's pretty predictable because we need a little Christmas. No, we need a lot of Christmas this year.
Right.
No matter what we do,
Yeah.
it isn't going to be the way we always hoped Christmas would be. This year is going to be different, like Thanksgiving was different and everything else. By the way, did we ever have that major outbreak of COVID that people were worried about because of all the Thanksgiving travel and all of that? I never saw the...
Dr. Janae Caldoun yesterday during the press conference specifically addressed that, and she said it does not look like we've seen a spike, and that's probably due to the fact that people really heeded the warning to kind of cool off and stand back and stay home. And she's saying that the numbers overall are going down. Our overall infection rate is going down slowly, but it's going down, going in the right direction.
And we're partially closed. You know, the
And
restaurants.
that's the other thing to keep in mind as well.
Right.
And the infectious disease specialist, Dr. Sims, was on with Frank yesterday morning, and he was talking about how, they're busy. They're busy, but they're not overwhelmed. They're not with patients, COVID patients. So that was another, I thought, very hopeful thing to hear.
Yeah,
And
very
they are in other parts of the country. California
Very
is
much so.
a terrible time. And
No beds there. No
Right.
ICU beds there in California.
Right. Close to 200,000 new cases around the country yesterday and close to 3,000 deaths. So
Yeah.
Michigan is doing a lot better than other states.
Do you guys have live Christmas trees?
Yes,
Dana does, but I do not.
I don't.
I don't either. Not this year. But have you noticed the lots are cleared out?
yes.
Well,
Not as
Ours
many
by,
trees.
Shrine of the Little Flower cleaned out last week. The Dad's Club, I think, sold all their trees.
So that's what I started to talk about. The story I saw in yesterday's Wall Street Journal. It's a very tight Christmas tree supply, as you've observed, Marie. And that means, and I cannot imagine this, no matter how much you want to have your Christmas, a 8-foot noble fir sold for $2,167. Now, that was in Hong Kong, and I appreciate that everything costs more in Hong Kong, but California and New York and all of those kinds of places, there are people paying more for inferior trees. So it's a seller's market out there for Christmas trees. And before I'd spend $2,100, I'd have to hit a really big lottery. I mean, really big lottery. I'd be looking in the corner and saying, there's $2,000 sitting in that corner, and it's starting to get brown and wither.
Yeah.
And it'll be on the curb in a week.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
The first $2,100 item, you kick to the curb and hope nobody takes it. It is 5:43 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty this Christmas, things are desperate. Bring joy to a child when you make your special year-end gift to Compassion International. Just text GIFT to 83393. That's GIFT to 83393.
Let's do it at 5:43 on this Wednesday morning, middle of the week. We've got our WJR traffic and weather first, and we've got Dana Clark.
Nice and quiet out there right now, Paul W. We are expecting some snow flurries, light showers happening after 7 a.m. So until then, just looking at construction along Merriman, both directions between Plymouth Road and Schoolcraft, reduced to just one lane that's scheduled through the end of the month. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Liberty Title, protecting property since 1974. $2 billion a year is lost to cybercrime and identity theft in real estate transactions. Liberty Title insures and secures your closing dollars, now offering creative closing options to keep yours safe, including remote online notarization, curbside, and contactless closings. You have a choice. Choose libertytitle.com.
Cracking out some snow showers as a big winter storm gets ready to race up the East Coast. A gusty east-northeast wind today. Cloudy this morning with a few flurries and snow showers starting to come through. Scattered snow showers this afternoon, maybe up to an inch in some spots. 34. Snow showers tonight, 27. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high near a cold 33. From a Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stejik, News Talk 760 WJR.
And we're kind of dodging that bullet. Our best chance for the week for snow is today, and it doesn't look like it's going to be anything really to be concerned about. But again, we're dodging the bullet with that East Coast storm raging up the coast. 28 degrees for us at 5:45, 28 degrees. And Rush Limbaugh with us Monday through Friday from noon till 3, checking in first thing in the morning, giving us a thought or two of something that's caught his attention. Rush?
On the same day Americans started getting coronavirus vaccinations, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio warned city residents to prepare themselves for a full shutdown. At a press conference, de Blasio shifted responsibility to the governor. Andrew Cuomo had told the New York Times over the weekend that the state might have to completely shut down. The mayor said he agreed with Cuomo because New York's government cannot let the coronavirus keep spreading. So they have to shut down, even though they are finally getting the vaccine. New York City restaurants were operating at 25% capacity, but that's over. Indoor dining completely shut down again. So even more restaurants are going to be forced to close forever. Now think about it. How many stories about restaurants and businesses being forced to shut down have you seen in the news? Not many. And you haven't seen the stories about people thrown out of their houses because they can't pay their rent, or about landlords losing their properties because they can't pay their mortgages. I guarantee you, if Republicans ran these cities and states, all you would see would be the hard luck stories caused by shutdowns, especially so close to Christmas. But it's Cuomo, it's de Blasio, it's Democrats. So hard luck stories are not on the menu. They have been shut down too.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Hanukkah continues. We have, I guess, till tomorrow, sundown, for folks celebrating Hanukkah this year. I'm going right in as we continue the Christmas season. And Ann tells me, because she's doing these things now, she's got too many hats, but that's another story. Besides starting the day too early in the morning and being our executive producer, she's also the acting news director. She's certainly, I don't know if you have the title, but assistant program director, because she's putting all the programming together and going to start all of our very special Christmas programming at 3 o'clock Christmas Eve, and then right through Christmas with the special programming that we've been doing for a number of years that people really like. So you can turn on WJR and leave us on, have all that special programming. Of course, this Friday, part of this, I guess, programming for this time of year and for Christmas is our special Friday program, Christmas on Us. That'll be this Friday morning, not only saluting military as we have for a number of years now, but frontline workers as well. And then Saturday at 4 o'clock, we'll have a Christmas carol online at WJR.com. And then, Marie, you and I were talking about this yesterday. Ann says not Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve. They will replay the...
Oh, good.
Now, I don't know, Annie, does that mean you'll replay? I know it's going to be on WJR radio on Christmas Eve. I don't know if you have the time yet or not, but would that mean that you would also replay the video online as well as the on air?
That's a good question. I'd have to check with digital on that. It's a possibility.
See, I don't know if I know they have the ability to record what we do.
Sure.
This coming Saturday at 4
And I
o'clock.
think what you do online actually does live on Facebook.
Does it?
Yes, I think
I didn't
it
even
does.
realize you could watch these conversations
Right.
Oh, yes.
every day later in the day if you
And
go
a lot of
online.
people do.
Because
Yes.
yeah, I found that out. I don't, but a lot of people do and tell me that they do. So
Yes.
like you say, what happens online lives forever.
So
Stays
I
online.
do think, but I'll check with the digital department. That's a possibility to kind of run it at the same time. But yes, I don't have a time yet for Christmas Eve. But how long do you think it will be? How long is your performance?
What do you say, Riri?
Yeah, it's a
hour
tough
and
one.
15, hour and 10?
It's over an hour for sure, and I don't think it hits an hour and a half. I think it's an hour and some.
Somewhere.
10,
And it will
15.
be, it does have a life of its own. So depending on how it goes, but it's an hour,
okay.
but it's not an hour and a half. If it's an hour and a half, somebody's Scrooged up.
Boom, boom.
Now tell me again, Paul, what are you?
Scrooge.
Oh, please.
Oh.
And he's the
Typecasting.
star of the
Typecasting.
show.
I went from narrator to one of the roles. You know, I was a narrator in the first,
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
I love this music. Times of the season as Hanukkah continues with until through sundown tomorrow. Daron Levin and I were talking about it, and of course he's locked down as well with his lovely wife Adina, and we chatted about how many conversations have you had with people about, well, you know, when this is over, we're all going to get together. So we're going to go from who told me this? Oh, a doctor said this to me. I never even thought about this. He said, when we do get through this, which was comforting that a doctor actually thought we would get through this, but when we do get through this, it's going to be like the Roaring '20s all over again. People are going to go crazy. They're going to just, if we really follow up on everyone we've talked to via Zoom, via StreamYard, via the phone, and said, you know, we really miss you, but boy, when this is over, we're going to get together. Our social schedules are going to be full for a year and a half.
It's true, Paul. You're
Just
absolutely
they
right.
catch
If
up.
we can get out of our sweatpants.
Right.
I got to tell you,
There's that.
I had a sport coat on yesterday for the first time, and
Did it
I
feel
don't know. I have
Felt like
I
a
have-
straitjacket.
It's been so long, but we had, Bill Young from Plastipack Packaging and Apsopure. God bless him. 30 years he's had this Detroit area Dollars for Scholars, which is a wonderful program that guides people, kids, young people coming out of high school who don't necessarily have parents who went to college or even had the wherewithal to further their education in any way. And so we had our meeting. I'm on the advisory board, and we had our meeting, and it was, a lot of people have a lot of those meetings. I don't have a lot of meetings. Thankfully, I just don't have a lot of meetings, and we don't have a lot of meetings from the radio station. In fact, in the morning when we see each other like this, that's it. I mean, I don't have like 3 or 4 more of these for the rest of the day. But anyway, I put that sport coat on, and the beautiful thing about putting a sport coat on is reaching into the pockets and reliving the last time you wore that sport coat, because you find a receipt or, whatever, and you go, whoa, wow.
$20.
Yeah. Is that not the
best?
The greatest, the best when you find a $20 bill stuck in a pocket you weren't expecting?
Yes.
And you go, wow.
With me, it's more like $1, but I upped it to 20 for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Doing this business, anyone have anything they brought to the table that they need to tell us about, regale us with, get off their chest? I mean, certainly the story about Jennifer Granholm. Kim told me, this is how I get involved in stuff, and I'm like concentrating on something else. And she said, Jennifer Granholm being chosen by Biden to be the energy secretary. And I went, she's not going to be governor anymore?
I did the same thing. I'm like, Whitmer, oh, she is going? Trev's like, no, I said Granholm. I'm like, oops.
It's funny. So we wish Governor Granholm well. Now, how can we benefit? We should benefit, shouldn't we? If she's the former governor of Michigan, and she should understand in her heart and soul the difficulties of the automobile industry.
Yep.
I'd like to think if there's any kind of a break that needs to happen one way or another, that we'll get that break. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
And she's had a relationship with the auto companies in the past. Right. So, I think it brings.
Put it this way, it can't hurt.
I would think, I've always thought this, but this goes back to when I couldn't understand why people didn't support Romney, for example, for president, because I thought, geez, we had Gerald Ford last time we had a president from our state. Wouldn't it be great to have another president from our state? But people didn't think that way. And they were probably right, because he turned out to be a bit squirrely.
And, our current governor Gretchen Whitmer, is on the inauguration team.
She's the co-chair.
Co-chair of that, yeah.
So,
and the reason I reacted like that was because I still believe she's going to get some kind of a position in the administration. I don't know. I just believe that. I wouldn't think that being co-chairperson of the inauguration would be it, but I don't know. I mean, maybe that's the honor, and that's that. Yeah. I don't know. But has anyone else thought that there was a possibility she was going to get some other important position within this Biden administration?
And there was also talk that Duggan would also maybe have a role somewhere in there.
He made it pretty clear early on he didn't want that. But
you know, they say that all the time.
Yeah, and let's face it, if you're asked to be in Washington serving your country in a presidential cabinet position, I think that would be hard to turn down. And I would understand that. It is an honor, and you're in the history books. And if you're running for office at any level, any of us who set off to do a job, we hopefully we shoot for the stars. And if you're a politician, shooting for the stars and being successful means you end up in Washington, D.C., and even furthermore, at the White House. I mean, they'd all like to be president at one point or another, but they realize somewhere along the way that probably isn't going to happen. But some people, like Joe Biden, after trying several times, finally made it to the White House. So maybe that's inspiration for anybody else that's held public office or continues to. It is 5:57 in WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty this Christmas, things are desperate. Bring joy to a child when you make your special year-end gift to Compassion International. Just text GIFT to 83393. That's GIFT to 83393.
Let's take a look at it here at 5:57, our WJR Traffic and Weather first. Miss Dana.
Nothing out there right now, Paul W., but construction 75 northbound between 94 and East Grand Boulevard. The left lane is closed. That's scheduled through early January. Also 75 southbound between Clay and 94. That right lane is closed through the new year. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, expecting some snow flurries to head in this way. Actually, snow showers. Snow this morning giving way to lingering snow showers this afternoon. Chance of snow about 70%, seeing snow accumulating anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, a high of 34 today. Tonight, occasional snow showers, low 28 for Thursday. Cloudy skies early, a few more snow showers developing later in the day, a high of 33. Cloudy skies, 26 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Marie Osborne in 2 minutes.
And you know, it is Wine Wednesday. Did anybody bring a wine?
Yes. Oh,
I'm running out of wine.
It's hard to keep wine in the house.
Yeah. Especially now.
It's real easy to keep wine bottles in the house, but it's hard to keep wine.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I may have used this one before.
Ooh,
No.
what is that?
It's called The Prisoner.
No, that's cool.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's a very cool label, and it's a very tasty wine. Kim was going to research, because neither one of us, it's been around here for a while, and neither one of us can think of how much it cost, but it's Napa Valley red wine from Oakville, California. And so it must be like a blend rather than, you guys usually ask, is it a Cabernet or a whatever? I either have usually a Cabernet or a blend, but
That's
it is
nice.
kind of a striking
Yes.
label here, and I have no idea, but Kim will let us know how much it was. What did you bring, Dana?
I have, once again, I've shown this before, my $5 special, my CK Mandavi. This time it's a cab from California. It says rich and velvety and unmatched quality for 4 generations. This is 2018. So $5.
Wow. You know, that's like my mother-in-law, Earlene Kettle, the other day from Aldi had a wine. I mean, I find it impossible to imagine what a $2.95
Oh, yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah, it's a winking owl.
Yes, yeah.
Which is a very cool label.
And it was only what, 2 something?
Like $2 and Kim, what was it? $2.95? $2.95 at Aldi, and she says that this wine she showed me on sale for about $26. So
that's a good price.
It's a decent price. A very good bottle of wine, and Annie has some red here.
I have a red today. It's a Pinot Noir from California's Central Coast.
They say Pinot Noir
Ooh, I love that
is very.
I love Pinot Noir.
It's very healthy for you.
Yes.
It's got the most flavonoids or flavonoids or whatever it is.
Tannins, the tannins too, I believe. This one though, I like the bottle. It's called Angel's Ink, and it's got. Look at that.
Oh,
it's
nice.
got wings
That's
on
nice.
it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Isn't that pretty?
Very.
And this is from Cost Plus.
That's
your favorite
spot.
place.
That's your spot.
There should be a way. There used to be, like, people used to take labels off wine bottles.
I was going to ask about that because they're so
wouldn't that
nice.
be a wonderful scrapbook to have? Or
Yes, and you know what you like.
If there was a way to display these wine labels without a bunch of empty wine bottles around, it would be kind of cool because the labels have gotten very, very nice.
Yes, they have.
So Dana,
could
come up
mark
with that
next
and
to
put it
it.
on your market.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I used to have there's an app for that. There was an app on the phone where you'd take a picture of the label
Mhm.
and you'd catalog it and you'd keep track. And in
idea.
fact, when you do that, it would tell you a rating or an opinion. It's always just an opinion on the wine and the costs and stuff like that. It was very cool. I have so many apps on my phone. I took that one off because I just didn't use it very much.
Mhm.
Think of this. I read in getting ready for the show, too much reading, but I can't picture Christopher Walken, but I know him,
Mhm.
the actor. He claims, and I'm not going to call him a liar, but he claims that he has never had a cell phone or a computer.
I could believe that.
Wait, how old is he?
Christopher
there.
Walken's got to be
70.
50 plus, 60,
Oh, I
70.
said 70.
Well, no, I don't know. Because I
Oh.
can't picture him. At the moment, I can't.
You know what? You've seen him.
If I
He
saw him,
looks
and
very scary. He's a scary character. Like.
Oh yeah, I've seen. I've just looked him up.
Oh,
yeah. Well, but
I could believe.
77. He's
I could believe
77.
that though.
How
I
old
could
is
believe that.
77.
well, he says that the technology passed him by. He never was into the technology. He wasn't very good at it. Well, I know about not being great at technology, but I can't imagine being without my phone or my computers. I mean, I really can't imagine. And in fact, he was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and you say, well, how'd he do it? Because everything's being done Zooming and stuff as guests on all these television shows. And he had to have somebody come over, bring a computer and set it up for him so he could do the show. I will say this. I really appreciate the advantages of having a cell phone and a computer.
Yeah.
It has changed our working lives in radio
Big time.
unbelievably so. It's like when the first fax machine came out in
Right.
business. Instead of running across town, well, I was in radio sales, and you'd have to run across town. Inevitably, at 5 o'clock on a Friday, you'd get a call and say, okay, I'll buy that package. You got to come over and get the copy or the, whatever. And I go, oh no. And then you drive around town and you spend another 2.5 hours doing what you do now, or heck, people don't even use fax machines anymore, but what they would do to fax one way or another. So I think the technology. Riri, can you hear us?
Did you?
I
bring,
can.
Did you bring a wine to the table?
I did. I did.
Go
How
ahead.
could I miss the wine? Isn't this the coolest bottle? It's
Oh,
an Alpha.
it is.
It's Alfa Romeo wine. Can you
Ooh.
see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alfa
Yeah.
Romeo. It's Italian.
Alfa
it's-
Romeo wine.
Yeah, and it's
What kind of
good
gas
too.
mileage do you get with that wine?
Pardon?
What kind of gas mileage do you get with that?
Yeah, it's like between 18 and $30, and yeah, it's an Italian wine from Abruzzi, I think. So it's legit with this beautiful bottle.
We were just talking about Christopher Walken, the actor.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Doesn't have a cell phone or a computer. Christopher Walken. Seems hard to imagine anybody in this day and age could say they don't have a computer or a cell phone. Good Wednesday morning to you. It is, in fact, Wednesday, middle of the week. Dana has another name for it.
It's hump day. Marie,
Yes,
I'm not having a seizure. Don't worry.
It is December 16th, the 351st day of 2020. There are 15 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And Hanukkah continues through sundown tomorrow, through this wonderful holiday period. We have the team together. Marie, thanks for the news just now that Marie has presented, doing a fine job with that. We have Dana Clark, Traffic and Weather, and thoughts or two and comments. First 45 minutes of the show we do online as well as on the air. Brian Morton is juggling all of that, pressing all the right buttons. Mike Kim is very helpful and helping with information along the way. And for our wine day, I found out that the prisoner was a gift to us from a friend who said, since we're all prisoners during COVID, so the wine was called The Prisoners. Mm-hmm. And of course, our executive producer running the show by the clock, a grandfather clock. And we've now learned there is two, and I thought I'd heard this before, there's also a grandmother clock, which I don't know the difference, and I'm not sure I care, but
just smaller. It's just smaller.
Okay. And and grandmothers are usually smaller than grandfathers until we start to shrink. And anyway, Ann Thomas has not started to shrink, but she continues to be our executive producer.
Good morning, Deb. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you. We talked about our former Michigan Governor Granholm going in to lead the Energy Department in the Biden administration. There'll be other announcements along the way. It's going to be an interesting ride, I'm sure. I don't know if that was my computer making that little doorbell sound. I'll get the doorbell after the show.
Company's here early.
There was a guy that I worked with that was the Clintons were pretty brilliant about promoting themselves, and this administration, the Trump administration, did not have this, but the Clinton administration actually put someone in charge of radio, their connection to radio, and they used radio brilliantly in their election and re-election. And I've talked before about the 100th anniversary of Clinton in office, his 100th day. I was invited all by myself to take my show when I was in Philadelphia at the time and broadcast from the White House, the first full radio show to do so, which led to this Radio Row they do every year and all of that. But the guy who did set that up was Richard Strauss. And I remember sitting with Richard Strauss at lunch at the old Ebbets Grill in Washington, D.C., and me in a father-like figure saying, he's in his 20s, and he's got a big deal job at the White House. And I sat there and I said, Richard, I don't want to come back to Washington in 20 years and see you sitting at the bar going, yeah, that's right. I used to work at the White House. Because you're in your mid-20s. That's a hard thing to top.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to say Ann and I work with Richard's company that he formed right after leaving the White House. It's called Strauss Media Strategies, radio, television, and social stuff. And he has offices in Washington, D.C., New York, and Los Angeles.
He did okay.
The nation's public relations, communications, and strategy firm specializing in radio and television. He done good. Did okay. So they sent us this note. The biggest funny thing about, Ann will remember this, we used to have them call us from Strauss Communications and say things like, hey, do you want Bill Ford on your show? This was at a time when Bill Ford was on our show all the time, back in the day. And then the guy would say, you know who Bill Ford is, don't you? We go, yeah, we're in Detroit, remember? But those were when the calls came from California and other places. But what they are telling us about now is that beginning December 24th, children whose families have Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick vehicles equipped with an active OnStar plan will be able to find the location of Santa and his sleigh with the simple push of the blue OnStar button. Isn't that kind of fun?
Yeah,
it's very cute.
Really fun. What a great idea.
Because they always used to track it. You'd be watching the news or hearing it on the radio. They'd say, there's been an unidentified flying object. What was it? Marie, what was it? Not Norwalk. What was it?
NORAD, right?
NORAD.
NORAD?
Yeah, I think it was NORAD. NORAD reports.
I remember watching that because my dad always wanted to go to midnight mass. And so we'd always be watching the 11 o'clock news ready to go to midnight mass, right? And we were all really tired, but we'd have to watch that before we'd leave for mass. It was a great memory, really. And it was Sonny Elliott usually doing that. It was great.
And NORAD continues to do the tracking. So there is a
serious.
site, NORADSanta.org.
What does that stand for? Does it say on there? And
North, there is a
American
something.
It
North
definitely
American Aerospace Defense.
There you go.
North American Aerospace Defense.
And if you search that, the official NORAD Santa tracker is the first thing that comes up.
First thing that comes up.
It might be, sadly, the only really important thing they still do. I don't know. I really don't know, but
You know that they've been doing it since 1955.
oh, I've been doing this since I've been doing life since 1953, and I remember it all my life. You know, when I was old enough to know it, we were paying attention to what NORAD was saying about old jolly old Saint Nick traveling around, and we wanted to make sure that he was safely navigating, so that he might in fact come to our house. Did you put cookies out for Santa?
Yes, cookies and milk.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, and then we'd come down, and the cookies would be gone.
Right,
And
the milk, this much milk would be left. It's like, why doesn't he ever finish it?
Got a lot of milk to drink at every house, though.
And then, and then our dads would sleep.
Right.
Sit in the chair because they had just had milk and cookies. Why not take a nap? But anyway, and we sat at the top of the stairs and could not come downstairs until my mother and dad went down and made sure everything was okay, that Santa had in fact come.
We had the exact same tradition.
Isn't that funny?
It's fun.
Oh boy, we're all about traditions and rituals. That's why we feel a little upside down going through the Thanksgiving we went through, and now going through the Christmas we're going through. But we will go through it, and we'll get through it, and we'll keep that Christmas spirit going, starting at 3:00 Christmas Eve with all kinds of great Christmas programming, and this Saturday at 4:00 on WJR.com and our social media with the Nutcracker. No, the
Christmas Carol.
Nutcracker.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see.
Scrooge is not Nutcracker.
I was thinking if I had my tutu and my ballet shoes, but I didn't think so.
Boy, that
The
was
Nutcracker.
something.
Yeah. 6:14 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty this Christmas, things are desperate. Bring joy to a child when you make your special year-end gift to Compassion International. Just text GIFT to 83393. That's GIFT to 83393.
Yeah, Christmas Carol. You know, one thought about Christopher Walken, who I said I can't imagine survives without a computer and a cell phone. He does have people, as Kim had pointed out.
Yes.
He's got people.
Right.
So it'd be nice to have those kinds of assistants around that are doing things, handling those kinds of things for you, right? All right, let's check in our WJR traffic and weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Right now, Paul W., no snow, so the roadways are looking good, at least for this part of the morning commute. We'll see as the day progresses. Grand Boulevard, both directions, eastbound and westbound at 94, construction there that is shut down, scheduled through early January. No delays, no accidents right now. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Might get ourselves into a little bit of a pickle as we go through this morning with some scattered snow showers around. Not looking for big accumulations, but if we dust the ground in some spots, maybe up to an inch, especially as you head south. 34 degrees. Overnight tonight, snow showers 27, overcast tomorrow with a high of 33. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stitchik on News Talk 760 WJR.
And again,